I am Adegbenga Raphael ASHIRU, an MSc student of Construction Project Management from the Department of Construction Management and Quantity Surveying, University, Edinburgh in Scotland. I am happy to be here today at the 5th International Conference of Contemporary Affairs in Architecture and Urbanism, Alanya Hep University, Alanya in Turkey, to present a paper on evaluation of strategies for employee participation by Nigerian Construction Organization, with co-authors of Anifowoshe Kamaldeen Jide of the Department of Architectural Technology, Federal Polytechnic Nkara in Zamfara State, Nigeria, and Muhammad Oladune Ismail from the Department of Building Technology, Federal Polytechnic Nkara in Zamfara State. In the concept of human resource management, there is no general agreement as to exactly what the term employee involvement should embrace to be effective. Participative practices may include profit sharing scheme, quality cycle, job enrichment, problem solving group, team briefing, and employee sharing ownership as described by Losmo in ETA in 2003. Participation can take different form depending on the level at which it is focused within the organization. It may be between individual supervisors and individual subordinates, formal or informal, as how a job might be done more effectively. Job safety analysis as a form of group work participation. The degree of influence employees enjoy will likely determined by the willingness and eagerness of the employers and employees to embark upon a participative process of a meaningful change. There are numerous examples of employee participation being used successfully in the industry, but less in construction industry. Workers' participation in problem-solving group occurred in only 21% of construction cases, as described by Green in 2002. Therefore, the implementation of people development and participative approaches will enhance the ability of the organization to retain employees. Concept of employee participation in the construction industry. Historically, employee participation are taking several forms, resulting in a multitude of different definitions of participation as described by scholars. Employee participation first emerged in the 1970s when the employers began to exert influence on decision-making through their leaders and representatives. The characteristic of participation was first identified by Tannenbaum and Masaryk in 1961 to be decision-making. Definitions of participation tend to fall into two broad categories, direct and indirect. However, the indirect decision often have a wider span than those of direct participation and extend beyond the immediate workplace of the employee represented. In today's working world, salary increase are not just enough for motivation. Employee needs to be acknowledged, encouraged, supported, and engaged. While most of the recent focus on employee participation has targeted office employee, inspiring and encouraging workers are essential to every profession. From project manager to foreman, every employee needs motivation, appreciation, and drive. Employee participation as a key concept, as a key component of high commitment in human resource management. Employees are involved at the workplace level through a wider number of participative practices held more frequently and include opportunities for workers to have a say, like investment in employee participation. Employee investment only occurs voluntarily. Involvement cannot be forced. Employee must be willing to contribute their ideas, and this only occurs when there is a genuine commitment on the part of employees and employers alike. As a topic of current interest in management thinking, participation have tended to rise and fall in prominence, but it consistently remains a significant part of management approach adopted by almost all organizations, and the emphasis on team and team building over the recent years. While management role is critical on achieving total quality, employee participation is one of the most overlooked parts of the process. Employee involvement evolves out of the business need to improve performance. The impact of human resources in the organization depend on the kind of empowerment given to them. Need for employee participation in decision-making by construction organization. Mark 2000 recommended that management should pursue a thorough road of people-based management that recognizes the importance of daily interaction with all employees and share identity with them in solving work problems. There is a little writing about the relationship between employees' right to satisfactory employee condition, employee responsibilities in decision-making, and employee willingness to share their knowledge collaboratively. It is argued that competition in the technologically sophisticated 21st century required intelligent organizations that manage knowledge rather than rely on hard assets. Ali, in 1997, argued that knowledge has to be developed constantly and shared collectively to facilitate a fundamental change in thinking from the based on Newton to one based of quantum physics, management equal employee. There is an assumption that employees, once understand the importance of knowledge, they are willing to share it. Management theory, although historically arguing from the management prerogative as a part of Taylor's 1994 managerial control concept, began to recognize the need of satisfying broader range of employee needs through greater employee involvement as part of the social technological system. By late 1980s, management really advocated improved quality of working life and increased employee participation in decision-making to satisfy employee needs for self-fulfillment and encourage their participation in productivity and quality improvement. However, continuous improvement through employee participation is the core Lean principle that identifies the inability to utilize knowledge and skills of employee as the eighth waste. Lean theory suggests improving participative culture through different tools like improvement, suggestion, rewarding mechanism, and multi-skilling. In summary, employee participation practices are required in high-scale and complex construction projects with high level of technology, research methodology, and analysis. Employee participation in decision-making in construction was simplified in this study with a viewpoint of management to investigating the background of the organization. We measure employee participation by asking the employer to engage the position where their employees are allowed to make specific decision on project management. Samples for the study were selected from Zamfara State, Nigeria, with a total 19 construction organizations randomly selected from the study area in the questionnaire survey. Data were analyzed using a chi-square method in the analysis, analyzing the participation in decision-making variable. We have the hypothesis of HO, employee participate actively in construction decision-making, and H1, employee do not participate actively in construction decision-making. From our alpha is 0.05. From the result of the chi analysis in summary table, p-value of the analysis is less than the alpha value of 0.05. We therefore reject the null hypothesis and conclude that employees do not participate actively in Zamfara State construction organization. In conclusion, the research sought to evaluate the relationship between the employee responsibility to participate in decision-making and employee willingness to share their knowledge collaboratively. Many studies have found that employee involvement is significantly correlated with organization commitment and its predictors. It was discovered also that employee participation may reduce the likelihood of turnover, the exit option, because they have the opportunity to express their opinion, the voice option, about their workplace decisions that directly affect them. The research further revealed that there is no enhanced desire from employees toward participation expected as revealed by the chi-square analysis. Therefore, the overall positive attitudes towards the participation will remain weak. Lastly, with sincere effort on the part of leadership to promote trust, openness, and workplace safety, the construction organization will be able to reduce turnover and create and engage productive employees. Thank you for listening.